Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back to I Allegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because people are crowdfunding to pay for their groceries. Wow, come help me. Please hit the like button. Please share this video. Don't forget to join our email list. The link is below in the video description. But wow, Tim Gadigan is the CEO of GoFundMe. And he was recently on a panel and did an interview and said that they are seeing a dramatic shift in what people are asking for money. You know, you've seen it, guys. Medical bills, death of a loved one, tragedy strikes, house burned down, crazy things that are horrific. And we need you to help raise money for this. No, you know what today it is? And the largest percentages, I need money to get by. The economy is so bad that I need your help with necessities. I need your help with groceries right now. That is wild, guys. It's absolutely unbelievable. I am at the entrance to a place called Lido Isle, which is opened in 1930. Basically a little peninsula out here with all these houses, but I am just blown away at the water damage and everything that they're repairing. There's a condo project that the condos go for $2 and $3 million, and the entire condo complex has got water damage on certain sidewalls, which would be lovely to buy that. So that's what you get for living in the water. But a lot of people are broke right now, and this is a sign of the times. People are not going to food banks right now. They're not doing the traditional thing where they go to their church or they even ask friends, just going online. Come help us. I am so broke. I need to feed my kids. I need help. And this is awful right now, because during the last economic downturn, let's go back to 2008. People kept things quiet. Your neighbors lost their house and didn't tell you about it. You just found out, oh my gosh, Chuck and Joan are moving, haven't made a house payment in all that time. The adjustable rate mortgage kicked in and they lost it. Unbelievable. The CEO, Tim Gadigan, said that the economy is having such extreme problems right now that people cannot afford to get by even when they work, some people are having difficulties. So, God, this is just crazy. It's widespread distress. That is crazy. These campaigns aren't just for emergencies and medical bills anymore. They're just to help people get by. Which, again, guys, it doesn't, how much can you give? You can't. You can't help everybody. Let's get Fran Glover on here from Joseph Dreamhouse. She'll tell you people are not donating to the hungry right now and the poor, because they are hungry and poor right now. This is what's terrible. This is an unstable patch in the system. I'm so broke, please help me. It's like the person on the street corner asking for money, but they're doing it publicly with no shame online. Now, once again, we've all been broke. We've all had difficult patches in our lives, and it just helps people. I mean, I know people that are incredibly successful now, and when I've shared stories about myself and they've opened up about themselves, they look back and they say, you're right. I learned more from those dark periods in my life than I ever did when everything was smooth sailing. And that's when you learn perseverance, you learn how to get through, you learn how to not give up, you learn how, only you can fix things. And not everybody's going to be there to help you. But, in past recessions, suffering was hidden, and there was a stigma to, begging out there. And now it's not. There's been so many articles here in rich Orange County. Okay, and as you go by the peninsula and by the boats and stuff, I love walking down here. I'm telling you, there's great restaurants on the other side of the street. It's just a fantastic place to hang out, and it's a great place to visit. And I like to leave. Things like water damage, yeah, that's a turnoff. Okay, but people have a shift right now, and the shift is that They have no shame. They're just going to ask. But it's sad. It's so sad because people are not getting by. They don't want to listen. They don't want to hear about getting rid of cars and getting rid of high payments. And you hear crazy stories about people that make $300,000 a year and are dead broke. Listen to a Dave Ramsey episode sometime. I guarantee you're going to have people that call in and yeah, we've got a 1.4 million in debt and we make, 300,000 a year. We just don't know what we're going to do, if we're going to file bankruptcy or not. And you would just flip out. You'd be like, God, I would love to make that kind of money, and I would never get myself in those problems. But you know, there's a mismatch right now of supply and demand for charities right now, but it just goes to show you that people don't want to go to the food bank. Every time I'm reminded about the food banks, it is tragic because the lines are so long. People need so much help right now, and there's not enough food to go around for these people. It's very, very difficult. But, you know, when people have to crowdfund for food, this says a lot, guys. It really, really does. Weak social safety nets, rising costs, that outpace incomes. People are not working like they used to. The new norm is, hey, if you work 32 hours a week, you're considered full time. Isn't that crazy? It's nuts. Inequality and who succeeds. I keep, the older I get, I keep hearing, about Medicare Advantage, and all these different things that you have to look at for older people, and they're changing all this stuff. You have to look at, what medical bills you're going to have, because let's face it, as you get older, the car breaks down. You break down. You're going to need to see a doctor, no matter how healthy you are, no matter how fit John is. Oh my God, did you hear he had a heart attack? Yeah. And you know what he needs? Insurance for that. Oh, wow. Okay. You know, I have one side of my mother's family that everybody lives into their 90s. And, uncle that gets sick, people get cancer, people get things they didn't plan on. And you know what? You need insurance for that. Or, I had one uncle that had heart valve surgery. Yeah, that came out of nowhere. And the guy walked 6 miles a day. So we told him not to walk anymore because clearly that's what caused the heart disease. Kidding, of course. But, so the normalization of begging right now is crazy. So have you seen anybody? Do you know friends that are this broke right now, that are asking for this kind of money right now in these different ways? Let us all know, okay? So, a lot more to cover. Now, the next thing is the super rich. You got to go from dead broke to our main man, Jamie Dimon. Jamie Dimon steps forward and says that he could see gold spike. And I was having a conversation with the CEO of Patriot Gold today, and Jamie Dimon went to the women's conference in Washington, D.C., and said, listen, I can easily see gold going to $5,000 to $10,000 an ounce. Wow. Now, with the economy and the environment that we're in, I would see that. Now, remember, this guy is ripped on gold so much, and a lot of people freak out. Every time I mention precious metals and I mention Jamie Dimon, I mention the fact that they could be the ones that have suppressed silver prices, and they're about to, let their foot off the gas and let everything just be realistic. But he's saying, listen, owning gold for someone wealthy costs you 4% to own gold, and they have to store it when you have all these gold bars. Well, you and I don't have gold bars. You buy an ounce here, you buy an ounce there, you're a gold owner. That's a big deal. But Jamie Dimon, to sit there and say gold could go to $10,000, that is unbelievable news, guys. It really, really is. And again, he's one of us, guys. Don't ever forget that. Jamie Dimon makes $38 million. He's just like you and me. Puts, his pants on one leg at a time. Just got it all going on, man. And he just really is one of the people. Um, One thing that I got a kick out of is you're starting to see shopping malls get sold and get ripped down. There is a market, and you could look at broker Aaron for this, where they're taking malls, some that are even profitable. This would be a better apartment complex than it would be this mall. And they're following the Bren company, which is here, the Irvine company here, Donald Bren, that owns, the largest private landowner in the United States is Donald Bren, and he is building apartments like you wouldn't believe here in Southern California, and that's what you should do too. you know so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with all this financing. And a few things that are interesting is Hooters, the restaurant chain, says it's going to go back to its roots, and it's going to go back now that the original owners and original investors have stepped up, and they're going to bring back the quality of their original restaurants. Okay, they're serious. And I mean, there's 50 jokes here, guys, and you know that I won't sit there and make them, but I have to, because no one has ever gone to Hooters, ever, for the food, ever. It's been for the hot chicks that these guys could never get. Remember that. That's the truth of Hooters. Get to talk to girls, have her bring you a beer, have her smile and talk to you. And again, subtle and clean, the food sucks. Okay? Ford's former CEO, okay, I'm going to say this because I was going to do a whole video on this one. Ford should be bankrupt right now. They really should. Mark Fields joined Ford in '89, and he was the CEO of the company between 2014 and 2017. He said the biggest mistake that Ford made was forcing EV cars on the marketplace. Well, duh, no, nobody wants this. And again, I am telling you, every now and then I make a statement and say something on the channel, and then all of a sudden you get all this, emails and pictures and things sent to me. The latest one that's crazy is my friend's Tesla that got totaled by getting a, sideswiped and having a fender ripped off the car, and now the car is totaled. People have written me stories about how they got bumped in a parking lot, and they went in the grocery store, came out, and the car wouldn't start. Oh, yeah, the battery got hit. The guy backed into your car. Huh? When? Okay. Didn't even know about it, but dozens and dozens of emails of just how crazy this is. So, these cars are incredibly expensive to run. From a female standpoint, she's an attractive woman that doesn't want to go to the gas station because she has to work at different courthouses in different areas, and it's not the best thing to sit there and go pump gas. And she can charge her car at her house and not have to worry about ever getting out and pumping her own gas. Okay? Well, there's a reason for it, but she's like, I don't want to buy one of these cars now. I don't ever want to do that again if it's going to continue to break down. And the shock, here's the thing. How much do you think they're going to offer her for that car? That's the thing. Okay? She paid, over 50 grand for it. Okay? Everybody is telling me horrible things. The woman that cuts my hair, her husband drives a Tesla, the same model car. A year ago at this time, right around the election, he was going to sell it to Carvana, and they were going to give him $28,000 for his much older Tesla. After the election and all the shenanigans that came out with Elon, the car offers were as low as $13,000. And I was like, wow, don't you feel bad that you didn't take that? And they do, they don't. We're going to fix one thing and it'll make the car worth more money again. It's never going to make it worth more money again. If you look online, you can see used Teslas are going for an absolute song right now. So, the Ford CEO, Mr. Fields, he's a clown, okay? Because we just shouldn't have forced all these cars onto people. Now that they're doing that, it's making it to where the market has spoken. People don't want to buy these EV cars, and Ford's losing money hand over fist. That's why you can get a share of their stock for a whopping $10. Once again, I could see Ford and I could see GM going bankrupt. What do you guys think? I just think it's terrible, but we never should have done this. We overestimated what the market would do. Whatever, overestimated. You guys are a den of idiots. One thing that's crazy is the National Flood Insurance Program right now is shut down. You want to hear something that's been affected by the by the government shutdown? The National Flood Insurance program is ran by the feds, and it's not working right now. So if you have a flood and you're in a flood region, it's not working right now. And there's a guy, Trevor Burgess, who wants to get himself and have private flood insurance that they haven't had in the past. And he wants to be in that business, a business that's never been profitable, and he wants to invest in that. And there's a great article from the Wall Street Journal I found on this. But again, rich people try not to piss their money away. And again, an area that's not profitable, I'm sure that this guy sees some type of loophole or something where they're going to be able to, throw money hand over fist at things. A few more things just to finish this. Don't forget the private channel, I Allegedly Live, and you sign up at iallegedly.tv. Use the link below, and it's all the private stuff. It's all the political stuff we can't talk about. It's everything that's too hot for, a PG channel. Check it out today. I love doing it. There's over 450 videos, and it's just great content, and I interact with the audience and stuff. It's fantastic. So, a couple things to end this video. Dr. Marvin sent me 2 great stories that are unbelievable. And here's one. Here's a successful story. There's never any good news on your channel, Mr. Negative. Okay. Listen. There's a bunch of good jokes there, too. First things first, guys. Ross, Dress for Less. Ross is expanding right now. They've added over 30 stores in the last year, and they anticipate they're going to slow down their growth between now and the end of the year, but people want discount clothes. Now, let's face it, Ross is like Marshall's and TJ Maxx and places like that, where they get the inventory from other places and then liquidate it. But man, you can get some great deals at Ross. And they've got some home goods and things like that. And this has been incredibly successful. So with that, they're going out right now and they're expanding the stores. And I was like, okay, well, there's a good news story. And thank you, Dr. Marvin, for that one. And then this final story, which this one just blew me away, the Alpha School. Okay? And the Alpha School is a little different because it is going to be ran completely by AI. You don't have, teachers. You don't have school bells. You don't have lunch hour. You don't have recess. You're taught by AI. Well, imagine this is a private school, guys, which means you write a check, la cuenta, to get there. No. Okay? I don't want AI teaching my kid. I want a teacher to teach my kid. I want my kid to also have discipline. AI is funny. I have a brother who does a ton of stuff with ChatGPT. And he's like, hey, have you ever ran into the end of a ChatGPT conversation? Like, what are you talking about? Where it won't give you any more information. You've hit the end of this subject. And I was like, you're insane. That doesn't happen. And you know what happened to me this morning was that. I'm sitting there asking ChatGPT a bunch of questions. And it's like, wow, I'm going to recommend that you go to the paid version to finish this conversation because you exceeded the information we can give you. And I'm like, well, why would I ever write you a check, ever, if this is what you're going to do? You're going to shake me down. And now I'm arguing with ChatGPT, but your kids are going to be taught by a computer. Remember that. Hey, Johnny, you've exceeded what the computer will give you. Okay? No, pass. Also want to show you guys, this is Lido Park, which is just a little sitting area, but you got places like this that you can sit by the boats and you can come out here and just peaceful. We just had a huge rainstorm out here, but just a nice peaceful spot to sit. So anyways, have you guys ever seen that with ChatGPT? And what do you like to use that's not ChatGPT? Don't forget to join the email list. I get that people are having a difficult time right now. I get it firsthand. I mean, people write me the questions, everything. But please, 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 get rid of stuff that you don't need in your life right now. Get rid of debt. Get a savings account. Have an emergency fund. You have to do that right now because think about this. What if today is the best day we're going to have? If it only gets worse from here, are you ready for that? Be ready. Okay? Take it from Mr. Negative. I'll talk to you soon. Okay? Email me hello@iallegedly.com. Be well. Okay? Make good choices.